Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Strong Collectors Podcast. My name is Dakota, here with my co-host Jordan, and today we're going to be talking about our 2022 Marvel Legends draft. So this is kind of like what the Marvel Legends team does at the end of the year, where they kind of like pick out their favorite this, favorite that. We don't work for Hasbro, so we've got favorites and least favorites. We've got quite a plethora of categories. I'll run through those for you right now. So we've got best comic book figure, best Build-A-Figure, best MCU figure, best female figure, best multi-pack, the Attaboy Award, the You Almost Had It Award, worst Marvel Legend Award, the Cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About Magazine Award, the best investment, the worst investment, best repaint, most disappointing, worst accessory, biggest insult, the best bang for your buck, best bang for your buck, and the Bare Bones Award. So we've got quite a few of those. Some of them we might spend a little bit more time on chit-chatting about, but some of them, like if
they're like debatable,
right?
Some good.
We've got like a hot take
takes.
on it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Which, speaking of that, future episode coming out is our Marvel Legends hot take episode. So kind of excited to see what some of your hot takes are there, Jordan. But all right, since I've been talking, I'll go ahead and let you give us the first. So you can choose your category.
Any category?
And then you choose any category. So if it's like one that you're like, oh, I got to make sure I beat Dakota to picking this figure, you can choose that figure. And,
okay.
We'll kind of like loosely follow the same rules as Marvel Legends. Like if you used it, like if you use, especially in the same category, like if you say like, I choose whatever it is, like, for the controller as your best Build-A-Figure, I can't choose the controller as your best Build-A-Figure or as my best Build-A-Figure. Crossed categorically, maybe. We'll see. I'll try to avoid it, though.
I am going to begin then with the bare bones category.
Okay.
In my bare bones, well, I'm not going to pick this one because I haven't had it, but I have had Sentry. And I think Sentry is a bit bare bones for me.
Really? Well, okay.
Really.
Explain, Jordan. Explain.
Okay. First of all, I mean, I guess he came with the trigger hands, but I think those are useless. So I think those are essentially like nothing. And then he came with the alternate head, which just looks weird. And at that point, it's like, don't even include it, in my opinion. So it's tough for me because I really wanted to like love that one. And I do like it. I almost feel like it's kind of a guilty pleasure figure where I'm like, most people would say I'm kind of crazy for liking it. I do like it. I just kind of wish maybe that's more of an almost had it then. Dang it.
Yeah. You could switch your category. You're going to do the almost had it instead?
I'll do an almost had it for Sentry.
All right. Okay.
That makes more sense as an almost had it to me. Okay. Because it was very close. I think you could have had something great. I just think beefing up the figure a little bit would have been the way to go for me. So that's my almost had it.
Yeah, I think that's a much better category for him. Because he wasn't necessarily.
He did at least come with stuff. That's right. Fair.
But the stuff he came with was kind of pointless. Like you're right. Why would you ever need trigger fingers for your sentries? He's never going to use a gun. And yeah, that head. I really like that. Like Sam did the custom paint on it. I think that looked way more like the Void than whatever. I guess maybe I need to read some more Sentry books, but I don't remember him ever looking like that. If you're in the or like go to the comments, let me know what story I need to read where that's what his Void head looks like. But I don't remember it.
Me neither.
All right. So I've got a few on here. I guess we don't have to do honorable mentions for all these, but like I think Shocker is an almost had it because of the lines they could have painted, but I don't think the technology is there, and I'm not that upset about it. So I'm not going to say Shocker. I think I'm going to go kind of surprising. I might actually end up using this. We're just going to go with it. Amazing Friends was a You Almost Had It.
Wow.
I will say I love Spider-Man. Amazing. Firestar is fine. She's a good update. But the fact that they used the old retro Pizza Spidey body on Iceman and the like lack of like a better head sculpt on him makes that pack an almost had it. You were super close. You had one amazing figure, one good figure, and one figure that you just missed the mark on. You were close.
Yeah.
You almost had it. But that's why you get the award.
Wow. Okay.
So
That's fair.
it was because it was so close. Like
Yeah.
I was debating whether or not to make that my best multi-pack award, but I was like, I can't because I don't like that Iceman really. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's cell shaded is kind of weird too. Like, why is he cell shaded? Like,
Yeah.
I guess maybe they're like, oh, instead of us putting out a cell shaded Iceman, we're just gonna throw him in this pack. And it's like you're mixing non cell shaded and cell shaded together, and it's just, I don't know. It was
Whole mess.
yeah. You could put it on a different body, and it would have been boom, best multi pack for sure.
All right.
All right. So
then
now it's
you
my
go,
turn to
right?
pick.
Okay.
Yep, we'll snake style. So you pick and I pick. I'll go with best female figure.
Okay.
And for that, I'm going to give it to Spinneret. I think I like the articulation. I've had her on display since I've gotten her. Getting the 2 head sculpts is kind of cool. Like, I don't really ever display it with the Mary Jane head, but I think I'm going to probably use that in the future. And I just got done reading the Renew Your Vows storyline, and it was pretty fun. So, yeah, I like Spinneret.
Very nice. Yeah, I thought she was pretty good too. Wasn't, I think what I expected from that would be like, obviously everyone was selling Spinneret, but I think if you wanted a Spinneret, even if you didn't, it seemed like a pretty well made figure. It wasn't just like, this is garbage that I can't even sell.
Right.
Like people would want Spinneret. So I'll agree with that. So then I do my female figure, right?
Yep.
Was from the 3-pack, it would be Elektra.
Oh,
I really liked the white suited Elektra. I think we talked. Well, yeah, we had our reaction, which I liked the extra head with the crazy hair. I know you don't, but I think you can still pose it with that, which is cool. I don't know, good technology, good posing, articulation. Definitely much better than the old Elektra, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I could see that.
I'd say a worthy update. But yeah, that would be my pick for best female figure.
Okay. You're up again.
Okay, this one might be a bit of a hot take.
Oh.
Most disappointing. It's a 2-pack. Venom and Null.
Okay.
That is my biggest letdown of the year. I was very excited for this one, Dakota.
That's true.
I was like, you know what? I don't care about the price tag. I don't care that it's crazy high. Give it to me. And I was thinking, because Null, didn't he just come with the sword?
He came with the sword and an alternate head. I don't remember if he came with alternate hands.
I don't think he had alternate hands.
I don't think he did.
I think maybe my biggest gripe, and maybe this is the gray area with an almost had it, but I would have loved for Null to have those wings poured in. I think when I first saw that, I was like, that's brilliant if you can use wings on both of them.
Yeah.
So that bummed me out right off the bat. I know you like the Venom with those wings. I just don't love that. I know you love that sculpt, but that's not my favorite Venom. It's not my favorite. And Null just didn't... He wasn't as substantial as I would have wanted him to be.
No.
I think, and I even said this to you from the initial art, I was like, I don't know if I love that more realistic design. I kind of like the over-the-top look for Null.
Yeah.
So I was okay with that, but if it would have blown me away, but it really didn't. I think I sold my Venom right away. I still have Null, but I've never really done anything with them. So, went from a figure from storylines and I'm really stoked about to I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah.
So
no, that makes sense. I mean, because you were like super hyped about that 2-pack coming out, and then when it didn't live up to expectations, and like I was just looking because I don't think that Null. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think that Null body has been used on anything else. So I don't know why they couldn't have just put in some holes on his back so you could port the wings in both of them. I think if they would have done that, that would have blown people away. That would have been.
Oh yeah, that would have been an absolute keeper for me. Like,
yeah,
that's going displayed right away.
Exactly. and it's like kind of another one of those you almost had it type of things where it's like that would have like really upped
Yeah.
the level of that figure. But I had much lower expectations for this 2-pack, and that probably helps the reason why I actually really like the 2-pack. Like I still haven't gotten to the King in Black. I've read through Absolute Carnage,
Yeah.
Maximum Carnage. Yeah, Absolute
Maximum was
Carnage.
the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've read through that, and then next up on my list is getting to King in Black. So I still don't know Noel super well, so I like the way he looks now, a little bit more realistic, which I know he's much more skinny in the books, but yeah, and I like those wings. It brings my symbiote display together. I like it. So, but my biggest disappointment award would go to Iron Spider, and I think this is for similar reasons to you, where you were super hyped about this 2-pack. I was really excited about getting an updated Iron Spider, and it just didn't really do it for me. I think it needed some more articulation in those like spider legs because it looks like it has more than it does, and that would have helped. But it's just kind of hard to like pose him on the shelf in any cool way. Like maybe if I got him on a flight stand, it would be better. But like he always is falling off because in order to
Yeah.
like get a cool pose with the legs, it makes it a little like too front heavy, and then he's taking dives. And he came with what 2 extra like the hands he had on him, and then an extra set of hands.
Yeah.
Not that I need a ton of hands for that Spider-Man, but yeah, it was cool. But I mean, it was also more expensive than a regular figure too, which
Yeah.
yeah, he comes with those extra legs, but he doesn't come with like a Build-A-Figure piece. So stop trying to tell me that you're giving me extra when you're not. So that's why he was my biggest disappointment. Still a decent figure, but not what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I could see that. That one never really appealed too much to me, so no real attachment. But from what I've seen,
Yeah.
I see how you'd feel that. So, all right.
Let's see. All right,
On
next
is-
up, I'm going to go with Best Build-A-Figure. And although I haven't had it, I got to give it to Khonshu because that looks the detail. We talked about this, I think, in one of our last Marvel Legends episodes, but the size is substantial. The articulation looks excellent. The detail, fantastic. I like the like kind of like ghosty neck.
Yeah.
I hope they do that with more figures. I don't know who, but I hope it comes more. I was a fan.
Yeah.
I got to get it.
You stole mine, so I'm going to have to come.
I know. That's why I had to take it first.
I do have one coming in the mail. Sans one arm and staff. So if anyone has a Jimmy Woo arm and staff piece, I would love to broker a deal. I thought Khonshu looks the coolest too. For Build-A-Figure, I'll probably have to give it to something that I didn't really care for, but I appreciate, which was Bonebreaker. If you wanted Bonebreaker, I mean, it had to be a dream come true that they made a figure of him, because it's like, what do you... I don't know. I appreciate them making that, and again, you're never going to be able to reuse a tank tread man.
Very unique.
Maybe the upper body, but... So yes, I would give that the unique points, and then also just kind of seem to be a crowd pleaser, so I like that they do that. So I will give Best Build-A-Figure to Bonebreaker.
Good pick.
Which will then lead me into, I'm going to go with Best Repaint.
Okay.
And my best repaint is going to be the 3-pack Venom. So, I love that retro Venom body. The cel-shaded, I'm a sucker for that. As soon as I saw the 3-pack was coming and I saw that, I'm like, dang it, I'm going to have to get this 3-pack, which I have. And I like that figure quite a bit. You have a different head on him, don't you?
Yeah, I put the movie head on him.
Right. I liked the additional head, the transforming one. I know it's not really your thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. And this is like my favorite build for Venom. So
yeah,
I don't know if there's any other Venoms. I guess you could do like a 90s style more, but I mean, they already kind of, who knows.
Yeah.
But I like that one. So that's my favorite. I was okay with that repaint, especially since that figure is so pricey, dicey if you want to get your hands on a retro
Right.
Venom. Because
Yeah.
remember, everyone when they first got it were painting it and we're like, that's so
Mm-hmm.
stupid, just wait. Which
Exactly.
I'm glad to see they've done it. So,
Yeah.
what is yours?
My favorite repaint is going to be the 20th anniversary Iron Man. So if you watched our top 10, he was pretty high on my list. He's my go-to Iron Man now. It's not much different than the AI Iron Man, but it's got a little bit of extra like paint on the like gloves and boots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess technically different head sculpt, so you know, there's different paint on the same figure though. So
Right.
yeah, I'm a big fan, and the 20th anniversary packaging was fun. Comes with lots of accessories.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my one of my top figures overall. But yeah, also wins the best repaint award.
Which is cool because you'd think getting the 20th anniversary figures you'd be mad getting a repaint, but I
Right.
think from what I've seen, yeah, I agree with you. They did a pretty good job there. So nice. All right. I will go with.
Wait, what about me?
Oh
We're
wait.
snake styling here, buddy.
Oh yeah, snake style. Sorry.
You're trying to steal my pick. I'm gonna go with best MCU figure.
Okay.
Again, just because I don't have a lot. I don't really like any of the MCU figures, so I had to get in here before you stole it.
Oh dang it.
My number one is going to go to Moon Knight.
Oh screw you. All right.
Yeah, again, like, I don't have it yet, but this is one that I plan to get to display with my Khonshu and Mr. Knight, because the Moon Knight show is probably my number one favorite for the MCU shows that we've gotten so far. And I think the detail on him is pretty cool. Again, still not going to get very many other MCU figures to go with him, but I think that little trio of the Moon Knight characters is going to be cool. I think if they ever put out, what's her name, like the Golden Scarab or something like that,
Yeah. I don't
something
remember.
like whatever his girlfriend's name is in the show. I think she would be a pretty cool figure to have. She's got wings, so check there. I would get her to go with that display. So, all right, I tried to talk for a little while to give you a backup plan, Jordan. What's your MCU pick?
How dare you, man? How dare you? The audacity to pick a figure that was on my list. Shoot. I mean, I want to talk about the Disney Plus. Like, I've been curious about that Scarlet Witch to see if she'd be cool, but I've never had her.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all the Disney Plus stuff this year, outside of Moon Knight, that one intrigued me the most, mainly just because of the crazy hair sculpt. I thought that was cool. But how can I say that's a best MCU legend?
I mean, I never had Moon Knight technically, so.
I know. You know what? And yeah, I can't with good conscience go with anything else, I don't think. So, well, I guess there's the Black Panther figures, though.
True, good point. You have the Ironheart.
I have the M'Baku Build-A-Figure. Oh, yeah, I liked Ironheart. You know what? I'm going to go with Ironheart. I liked Ironheart. She wasn't perfect, but I thought there were
a lot of uniqueness, right?
Yes, yeah. A lot of unique parts, a lot of unique sculpts, which they kind of had to do because it's a unique suit. We haven't really seen it before. I thought it was good, though. I thought this sculpt on the alternate head was good. Yeah. That's mine. Ironheart,
right.
MCU.
Ironheart.
Forgot about her.
All right. What's our next category, Jordan?
All right. I'm going to go with bare bones for real this time.
Okay.
Because I have one in mind that I think is the barest of all the bones. And I think we're thinking of the same thing. I'm going to go with Speedball.
Yep.
Obviously did not make the decision to buy him because I think we had the same thought when we saw it. It's like something's missing. Because there's just that giant empty part of the package. Yeah. The void of Speedball. Where it's like, you couldn't even throw in one of those crappy effects. Like,
right.
I would have preferred cool new effects.
Yeah.
That would look awesome. But at least give them That just if I was a Speedball fan, I'd have been like, finally. Well, that
Yeah.
if I'd been a Speedball fan, that'd probably be in my almost had it. Like, oh, he looks cool. What? Oh,
Yeah.
he's just as is. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing
So,
too is like they literally all they would have had to do is put in those same like bubbly effects that came with like Havoc and Polaris or like all the other figures that have that and just like put in some different colors and it would have been pretty cool.
yeah.
Like you said, almost had it, but yeah, no, just absolute bare bones. Speedball, no power effects, no extra hands, no head, just a controller torso.
They should have just put in parentheses Speedball as is. as
Um,
as pictured. What does that mean? There's no hidden accessories.
all right, so my bare bones. I'm just trying to see so I get the accurate description of her. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go with the Walgreens exclusive Moonstone because I knew you were gonna take Speedball, and I think the argument can be made that Moonstone is even more bare bones.
All right.
It's a female figure. She comes with an extra set of hands, but no Build-A-Figure piece. So technically, it may be even barer bones. I was trying to see if she was like on the updated bodies, and she is. She does
Yeah.
have double pinless hands and legs, so saving grace there. And maybe she doesn't need much else, but it's just like you're gonna charge the exact same price for her as you're gonna charge for other legends that come with more accessories or Build-A-Figure parts or whatever. And it's a Walgreens exclusive. Like, come on, bare
Yeah.
bones, bare
Bare
bones.
bones. Bare bones.
Yeah, so not a great one for me.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the bare bones category. Cross that one off. Next up, let's go biggest insult. This year's biggest insult from Hasbro award goes to the mini Wolverine because the audacity to call that a figure is just astounding to me. That the Marvel Legends team can sit there on their live streams, looking us straight in the face or through the camera, and say, "Look at this 4-pack."
Did they really say that?
Yeah,
They
I'm
called
pretty
it a
sure.
four. Okay. All right.
Let me. I'm gonna pull up Hasbro
I'm
Pulse right
starting
now.
to get afraid that you just created in your mind this narrative that they called it a 4-pack, and you've
No,
been
I
salty about it
guarantee
all
it,
year.
dude. Let me see.
You might be right. You totally might be right. I'm just wondering, but yeah, I would agree. I mean, well, I know
Yeah,
for sure we
it
yeah we
says.
came to that by you running the math because you found out the price per figure and it made sense. But yeah,
Yeah, no, it says on there. Mojo
4-pack.
World Tour 4-pack. So
That's bad, man.
that's ridiculous. So that's my biggest insult.
If you haven't guessed from the whole year of complaints,
Right.
that's what everybody hates. I've got like I almost need like a whole sub episode for grievances because I just went wild and wrote. I just wrote price hikes, making Retro Spidey a Walmart exclusive, and 2 Disney Plus waves. But I think my genuine biggest one. I don't know if this is like. I guess it was a nat. Can I say this? That they revealed just the whole Spidey VHS 2-pack line
Yeah,
thing and the
that's
Symbiote
that's what I was
Spider-Man
thinking.
because Symbiote Spider-Man came out this year. In the same year, we find out the figure that was just released is being re-released as the real animated Spider-Man, but this time it's in a 2-pack.
Yep. No, I
That
definitely
really
agree
kind
with
of
that.
took the wind out of my sails for my enthusiasm.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can go back to other episodes to listen to me rant about that. But that's probably my biggest
Okay,
bummer.
makes sense.
Or biggest insult, sorry. But it was a bummer. I'm going to go with worst accessory.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick the retro Spidey cel shaded webs.
Yeah.
So I like this Spidey. I do like him. I think I'm liking him more than I'm having him. But the webs are just pointless. I mean, we were together you saw it. You can't even do that thing where you like web somebody's foot down. They just sit there all weird.
Right.
I guess it looks cool in the box, but there's no honestly like no point to them if you're gonna open it, unless
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't even know what you do with them. So I think that was a terrible accessory, and that is why it is my worst.
I am going to say my worst accessory is the HasLab Galactus Doctor Doom head.
That's true.
I understand it's a deep
that.
cut. It's fun for the people that have read that one issue or whatever it is. But the accessory itself kind of sucks. Like the hood doesn't actually attach. Like it's so gappy that like
even if you wanted
through.
it, you'd be like, "This is disappointing."
Right, exactly. Like you would need a custom cape, which he doesn't even. I don't think he even wears a custom like a long cape when he becomes Galactus as Doctor Doom. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you're never gonna display it. Like it's not like the Sentinel head where it's like, oh, I can just like have a like torn off head. It's not like you're not gonna have a decapitated Galactus in your display, or like even a decapitated ginormous Doctor Doom. So it's like totally pointless. You can't even really sell it for anything. So, disappointing.
It's a good paperweight.
Which I was excited to get because I was like, you've got your whole Doom army. That'll be so cool to pose it, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't do it. No.
Good in theory, maybe. Execution.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let's go with the best multi-pack.
All right.
So for this one, I'm going to take the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows 2-pack, which I think probably doesn't need much explaining because I think most people would agree. People love that Spider-Man. I don't love him as much as other people, but it is a great Spider-Man. And like I said, Spinneret was my favorite female figure, so 2 fantastic characters. Best 2-pack, or best multi-pack.
Well said. Yeah, I was thinking about that one too. That one's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to use my Daredevil 3-pack? Because I already used Elektra.
It's both of our... she was your favorite female. Spinneret was my favorite female, so go
All
for
right,
it.
Cool. Well, then I'll go with the Daredevil 3-pack. Bullseye, admittedly, yes, is kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
I'd loved, imagine if they would have subbed him out for, like, Stick or something.
Yeah, true.
That'd have been, or like a Hand Ninja, even. I would have taken that.
That would be cool.
So Bullseye's kind of but I really liked, what?
I like the because I agree. It's close. Like
he is. It's like
I understand why they gave him the blue shirt, but I think if they wouldn't have given him the blue shirt, and it was just like literally the same figure put back in the box, like I don't know. I guess people would have complained about like getting the same figure twice. Yeah. But
I'd rather have that than one wearing a blue, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I liked Elektra. She's a very good figure. Impressed me. And I also really like Daredevil. So that is kind of the one you remember. Maybe if you go back through our episodes, I was getting a little more pessimistic about Legends until that 3-pack came, and then I was like, all right,
they still got it.
You still got it. You're having some rough spots. So that was my best multi-pack.
Cool.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna pick my best investment.
Okay.
So what I believe the best investment of this year. I know that there's been some controversy, but I'm going to pick the retro cel-shaded Spidey. I know that you're very confident there will be a re-release of that same Spidey next year. Maybe I'm just hoping against hope that they don't do that same exact thing. I mean, even right,
Spideys left and right, man.
I know, but if I were to pick one figure from this year, well. Do I count the No Way Home 3-pack, though, since that's not out?
Nah, it's not out yet.
Okay, so then I'm going to go with the retro cel-shaded Spidey, just because I think Spidey is one of the safest investments, and it looks really good, even if they do a different one. I mean, this one looks pretty cool on the card.
True.
So I could.
They probably won't do another one on the retro card. I will give you that.
That would be my thought. So
yeah, I would assume that's got to be the last red and blue Spider-Man on the retro card. You're going to have your retro and you're going to have your retro cell shaded. So
Yeah.
I really think they're going to give you another red and blue cell shaded Spider-Man though. I think it'll
Yeah.
maybe be on the Renew Your Vows body. So you're
Yeah.
going to get that same Spider-Man just in the colors that you got the cell shaded retro. So
Yeah.
that's why I wouldn't pick that as my best investment, but you are right that like retro carded Spider-Man figure is a good safe bet. I just think that Hasbro is flooding the market with them. So, which I think is
Yeah.
smart. Like they've realized that like, oh, people go crazy for these figures. Like let's just give them one every month. So, my
Yeah.
best investment is going to be similar, but not Spider-Man. Still on the retro card is going to be the retro carded Lizard. I will say it's not my favorite figure. I know people really like it. Maybe I just need to spend some more time posing it around. I don't think we're going to get another Lizard like this, and we're not going to get another one on the retro card. So
Yeah.
I think down the road it's going to go up in value, especially if you've got a good box, because Walmart just does not take care of their collector friendly package stuff. So they're going to
True.
smash it around before they ship it out. So I would say, I don't know, maybe not 50%, but like a lot of packages got busted up. So if you're a mint on
Yeah.
card collector, it's going to be harder to find this down the road for sure with people that
Thought of
open
that.
it and
That's
things that
true.
are damaged. So, which is probably the same with that cell shaded Spider-Man too. Like a lot of those packages have been damaged in shipping. So finding one mint on card is going to be more challenging. It's just, are people going to want that Spider-Man with all the other Spider-Man options? So I'm going with Lizard for my,
We'll talk in the future about that.
yeah. So we'll stick with the same theme. That was our best investment award. I'm going to go with your worst investment award. And I'm just going to go with the entire Thor Love and Thunder wave. Didn't do anything as soon as it came out. Most of those figures are pointless. Like, what's his face? Star-Lord and Groot are in the movie for like a minute. And like the Jane Foster Thor is fine. I've never had the King Thor. Ravager Thor is kind of also, he was in the movie for like a minute in that costume. Korg did not need to build a figure. So yeah, there's not
Yeah.
really anything there that is ever going to go up in price, I don't think. I mean, maybe Jane Foster Thor if they never make another one, just because it's like, oh, if you want all the MCU characters, like, but even then you're still probably going to be able to buy her at retail. So
Yeah. That's
Thor
fair.
Love and Thunder, bad investment.
Similar, I am going with the Doctor Strange wave
Yeah.
because I think even at the time I pulled one of those where I had a lot that had them, and then I was gonna like keep one or two, and then which is like probably should have sold all of it because it's terrible. But I remember the Rintra didn't even like do that much,
Yeah.
and you know,
Was it substantial
yeah,
at least?
he's okay, but
Okay.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
I'd be pretty upset to have
yeah.
paid full price for that whole wave and be sitting on it now.
Yeah.
But both of those give me similar Eternals vibes. So
Yeah.
those MCU figures really never worth investing in. That's our
No.
word to the wise for the
I
day.
mean, yeah, we could do another like revisiting investment figures, but like I can't think of any. And let me know in the comments, like, are there any Marvel Legend specific MCU figures that are actually worth anything? Because I know Worthy Cap was for a little bit, but I think his price has dropped off.
Yeah,
Some of those old Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans are still decent, but those aren't technically Marvel Legends.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, you're up again,
All
Jordan.
right, I'm gonna go with the Attaboy Award.
Okay.
So we this is our Strong Collectors exclusive award that is given to the Marvel Legends team when they do something truly innovative, new, unexpected, really knock it out of the park, the kind of behavior that earns you a popsicle. So, you know, if we ever see you guys, you'll get a popsicle. But that, for me, is what they did with the VHS Cyclops, specifically the keyed-in straps, the sculpted-on chest strap, I think I showed this in our reaction to him, but
Mm-hmm.
you can bend the figure. It doesn't mess up the look of the strap. It's like it's running and then it's sculpted on the bottom. Really, I don't know, maybe I should expect that kind of technology, but that was, to me, was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. Um, which it's like, makes no sense to go back after that, which I hope they never
Mm-hmm.
do. But clearly they've been using it on those newer retro carded or not Venoms, X-Men with those uniforms. So hopefully that becomes a staple moving forward as we get into that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really was impressed really with that figure overall, but those specific details.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick in a similar vein, but not so much figure related, but packaging related. And I'm gonna go with just the VHS style packaging in general.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan. Whoa, I'm a big fan of the like looking like a VHS. Like it's obviously a little bit bigger than a VHS, but it's got kind of like what you would see on like the cover of your movies.
Yeah.
And growing up, like I was watching, like I had some Spider-Man and X-Men VHSs. I like that you line them up on the side and you've got the faces.
Yeah.
We've talked about how it would have made a lot more sense if they would have evened it out, like villains and heroes,
There's like
being able to
15
like show
heroes
off.
and 2 villains.
Right, exactly.
Who's gonna win this round, guys? Mr. Sinister's like, where is where is everybody? I was told Magneto would be here.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping we'd get a Magneto, but yeah, I mean, lining them all up, it looks cool.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not going to get any of the villains, so maybe that's not as big of a gripe for me. But yeah, I thought that was a cool, fun idea. I don't love that
Yeah.
it costs like extra just to have a cardboard box. Maybe that could have been one of my. What was that?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I was going to have some award where it was like I could call out the fact that they're doing this plastic-free packaging to like save the environment, which like, yeah, sure, maybe you are, but it doesn't cost more to not use plastic in your packaging. So I think it's just a gimmick for Hasbro to save a buck and then charge us more for it. So
That's a very specific award.
the Hasbro lied and said they were saving the earth. Instead, they decided to charge us more money award.
Crap. That is a true Dundee. That's a Dundee award if I ever heard one. That's good. Yeah.
So I like that. I'm kind of excited for the Spider-Man VHS packaging. A little bit less so now that like it's all going to be 2-packs. So it's like, is both figures going to be something I want? They're all going to cost like over $50.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. It'll depend on the characters for sure. I'll definitely be choosy about it. Next up, let's go with. We'll stick with the Dundee themed awards, and this is going to be the cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About magazine award. And I'm going to give this one to the Japanese style Spider-Man figure that, I don't know, some people I think were pretty happy about. It's a Spider-Man figure. It's sculpted pretty well, but I've never watched the show. I've got enough Spider-Mans in my collection. I don't need it. Put it on the action figure, or put it on the cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About magazine, because it's not coming in my collection.
Yeah. Yeah, that one I thought was kind of fun as like a novelty idea, but do I really need it? No. I mean, there's talk of him showing up in the new Spider-Verse, so people are thinking he'll go crazy then. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's funny that he's got the communicator that literally he summons a Megazord as
Right.
funny. So I doubt they'll ever do something like that. But speaking of big figures, my pick for the cover of Toys I Don't Care About magazine is going to be the Ghost Rider HasLab.
Jordan.
Because I really never cared about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even
I
when you
was
saw it in
curious to
person?
see what would happen. No, even in person,
Oh.
I was like, I wouldn't. I don't even think I'd pay $250 for unless it was an investment piece. I kind of from the beginning with the tactics, with what it came with, just that's a whole thing. We could go over that for a long time.
No, I guess
just
do
was
agree
never
with you.
too jazzed about the HasLab, and nothing they really did made me more excited.
Yeah.
And I'm really not that sad it didn't pan out because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
like, dang it, I wish we would have gotten that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I recognize some people were very excited, so I'm not insensitive to that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of the point of this award, is something that like people would have actually cared about. Because if you would have put like that mini Wolverine on here, and it's like, well, yeah, obviously nobody cares about that. This is
Right.
supposed to be a little bit more of a
Bit
hot
of a hot
take.
take, yes.
Right. Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah, I guess the more that you say, like, would I have actually paid 250 for it? Probably not. Like, I don't have the space for it. Like, that would take up a shelf itself just for the car, and I couldn't even pose any of the figures with it. And I didn't really care about any of those figures either. Like, I don't know, none of those figures I
Yeah.
need. So I do have
Yeah.
that story, like the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider story, saved in my Marvel Unlimited queue to read at some point. So maybe after I read that, I'll realize the giant mistake I made. But
Error of your ways.
yeah. So, all
All
right,
right.
Jordan, what's our next category?
I'm going to go with worst Marvel Legend.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick the Retro VHS Storm.
Okay.
I was pretty excited for this one. I thought the paintwork looked cool. Ordered it. The head is just so top heavy with the hair. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what technology, but like, they did not hit it. Like, she falls over like nonstop.
Sure.
And then she comes with those wings that are like that
Papery,
just terrible,
weird.
awful, awful. I just hate thinking about the material they used.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of more like a biggest disappointment, but I thought it was, especially I think for me it was the price tag that I'm like, this
Yeah.
was $30.
I'll
Like,
give you that for sure.
if you rate what it cost to what you got, I think that to me is like one of the biggest misses.
For sure. Yeah, that you had to
Like
pay
at least with
extra
Wolverine, you got the piece. What I don't know.
and it was a good figure. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and I
agree.
like and
That storm
yeah.
looked like it was going to be cool, and it's too bad to hear that it wasn't.
There was one I was gonna pick, but I'm thinking you might pick it, so I thought I'd leave it
Okay.
for you
Nice.
because I think I know what you're gonna say. But
I'm going to say Howard the Duck
I knew it.
because let's run it back. The fact that Hasbro can look us in our face through the screen and tell us that that's a figure worth $25.
Ryan, I know you've been listening for months. Listen to me
No.
now.
That is ridiculous. That figure sucks. I'm never gonna get it, so like, I can't tell you firsthand, but like, you're gonna it's like you're gonna just put that tiny Wolverine in a box and say, here, pay $25 for this, which they are doing just in a multi-pack, but like, that's
Yeah.
the worst figure. Worst figure award.
That's what I was gonna pick, but I figured you'd go to that one, so I knew
Yeah.
I had the personal storm disappointment. Thought I'd leave that
Yeah.
in.
No, that was good. Yeah, I can't believe they made
Called
him
that a figure?
like he should have been like he's like the Spider Ham. Like you could have just packed him in with anybody else and it would have been fine. Like give him, I don't know who they would have packed it in with, but either way,
Yeah.
not his own pack, that's for sure. What do we got left here? Best comic figure and best bang for your buck. I'll go best comic figure. And I'm going to say the Amazing Friends Spider-Man because he's the color I want him to be. Eyes could be a little bit bigger, but that's really my only gripe there. I like the body better than I like the Renew Your Vows.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's the star of the year for me. Best Marvel Legends overall, best comic figure.
I don't love him that much, but I do think he's cool. I think you have gotten a pretty good pose. So it's hard to beat that. Again, I think I can use this. My number one was the 3-pack Daredevil,
Yep.
but I already used the 3-pack for a multi-pack and
Okay.
Elektra, but I'm going to use Daredevil anyways because I thought he was really cool. I mean, I loved the changes with the batons, the clip-in pieces, a sucker for that toe joint. That probably could have also been on features you don't
Yeah.
care about magazine because I don't know. Maybe
We'll
we'll
put that in
save
our
that.
hot takes episode.
I was gonna say yeah, I'll have a list of hot takes. But I really like this Daredevil. I think it definitely puts the old one to shame, and it's time to put the old one out to pasture
Mm-hmm.
because you got this one. I know you think we'll be getting another one soon, but for now, I'm gonna enjoy the Daredevil.
Nice. All
And
right,
then
before we
that
get
will
into
leave
our
me.
last
Okay.
category, I'm
Yeah.
just curious because you've got your Doctor Strange behind you. I know you're super hyped about it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't make it into your top 10. Why not? I'm just curious because
I don't know.
you love Doctor Strange. I'm
I
surprised.
do. I think I.
You've just had it for too long. It's old news to you, and
Yeah, it's the beginning of the year, man. A lot has gone on since then. Um, yeah, he wasn't in my top 10, was he? I think he should have been in my top 10. I would like
okay.
to issue an apology on behalf of, now that I'm thinking about it, because, um, I mean, I think the one thing I hated was just the narrowness of the skirt thing. I don't
Couldn't
know.
pose
Maybe
his
we
legs
could
around as
use
much.
some different plastic for his body. Just feel like the Thor had, where he can
Yeah.
move. Like it feels like that technology is way different than whatever they used on Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
So
that
that
makes
kind of
sense.
bummed me out. But
Okay.
he probably still would deserve a lower ranking on the top 10.
Not going to make it in
So
the top 5, but
I don't think a top 5, but he
no.
definitely should have been in the top 10. That is a
Okay.
oversight on my part.
All right. I was just curious. All right. Give us the last category there, Jordan.
So that is a good segue because my best bang for your buck is actually Doctor Strange.
Nice.
Because what was he priced? Was he a $24.99 when he came out, or was he more?
He was either that or maybe he was 32. I can't
Was he that
remember.
much? I thought he was in the 20s.
He
I
might
don't
have
know.
been. I can't remember.
I
I'll
think
look him up while
again.
you
I
talk.
think I know which one you're gonna pick, and I like that one too. I think, but I don't know. I just thought you got a lot of cool stuff. I like the axe, the wand, the multiple heads, the multiple hands, the spell effects. Like that's quite a bit to fit in the
Yeah,
box for a single figure.
it really was.
So maybe it was like 27. I don't know. But either way, that's quite a bit more than you get with most figures. So
True.
I was happy with that. And I thought he came with quite a bit.
Yeah.
Especially if now you can get him on clearance because we're seeing him on
Right.
sale. So
Yeah, I was trying to look and they only had Walmart secondary folks
yeah.
selling it, so it was like way overpriced. Okay, so yeah, you left me the Herald Thor, which I think is a great bang for your buck. We've talked about it several times. You get the figure, build a figure piece, 2 ravens, lightning effect, hammer, alternate hands. Holy crap, that box was full. Where Speedball had a giant void in his box, there was no extra space in Thor's box. I will say I was prepared with my backup, was going to be the 20th anniversary Captain America, just because he also came with quite a bit too. He had lots of hands, shield accessories, the base. He was a little bit more expensive though, so maybe that's not necessarily bang for your buck. That's just like you're getting what it's worth. But yeah, Thor, I think they went way above and beyond, especially compared to all the other
Yeah, for
stuff they're
some
putting
reason
out.
they went really hard on Thor.
Like there was definitely no need to give us those ravens. Like he would have been perfectly fine without them. But yeah, the fact that they put 2 of them in there is pretty like that. Yeah, bang for your buck award for sure goes to Thor. So,
Well, and
all
that
right,
brings us to the end.
that was all of our categories.
Kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly of
Yeah,
2022.
be curious to know what you listeners think. Was there any like that we were way off on? Like, no, you guys totally missed this other cover of Action Figures I Don't Care About magazine award winner. I mean, you could go through all these if you want to do it. I don't expect you to. Maybe just give us your top winners for some categories. But yeah, I think this was pretty fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I had fun. Jordan, did you enjoy this?
It's all right.
It was all right.
Just kidding. No, I had fun. No, this is fun. I think it's cool to yeah, just kind of do that at the end of the year because,
Yeah.
like you said, so many things come out. Like, yeah, there's part of me that maybe should have done this before our top 10
Mm.
because I'd have been like, oh, yeah, Doctor Strange, he did have a pretty good value. I think for me, it's like, I don't know. It just seems like they put out so much stuff, it's hard to
Yeah.
stay on top of it all.
Nice.
But,
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that was surprising because I forgot about him being like a really good bang for your buck too. So,
mm-hmm.
and I think this was fun because like Hasbro's is fun to watch. I do like Hasbro's draft. I know you're not as big a fan, but I do kind of wonder how genuine it is because when you
Yeah,
pick characters like She-Hulk and Kate Bishop as top figures, kind of like, are you just trying to sell products here, or are you for
yeah,
real that that's actually a good figure? Whereas here, it's like, what do we gain by? We don't really have figures to. We have figures to sell, but like, it's not like you guys are probably going to be buying from us, like
right.
Hasbro. So a little
Yeah,
bit more honest in our awards. We can give you like some of those awards that Hasbro's never going to give you, like worst Marvel Legend and biggest disappointment. Although
yeah,
that would be very interesting to be like, Ryan, what do you think the worst Marvel Legend this year was?
yeah.
As they're still on shelves. But
That's funny.
anyway, let us know in the comments some of your guys' winners for some of these awards. Like Jordan said, we're going to start doing some more episodes from based off of questions that you guys have left us on previous episodes. We'll respond to all the questions, all the comments, and make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. We just did a giveaway. I just heard that our last giveaway winner just got his Ghost Rider poster, and Daryl Young even threw in a free pin to go with it. So, when you win things here at the Strong Collectors, sometimes you win a little extra. So make sure you're subscribing so you're going to get entered into the future giveaways that we're working on. So until next time, stay strong.